Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome to our class. Today is Wednesday. Yay, thank God. And it's August 17th. So August is halfway through, more than halfway through, actually. August is almost over. So welcome to our class. This is Wide Angle 2, and we are doing Unit 3. All right. So, how was your weekend? How was your week? Yes, a lot of work. Yes. A lot of work. Okay, good. So, that was good. All right. Let's take a look at the topics we saw last week. So, let's go there. August 10th. Okay, here we are. So, last week, we did Unit 3.2, pages 30 to 33. We talked about the simple present, more like a review, because this is something we already know, okay? So we saw the simple present. We talked about um, how you can find people to interact, if you are a good neighbor. We talked about community. We talked about how to build a nice community. We saw some vocabulary about interacting with people around us, neighbors included. And the focus was exactly about neighborhood, right? And then we saw a graphic with some statistics about um, how much people interact, what people do in their communities. And the idea was to practice adverbs of frequency, right? How often, questions, of course. And we also saw time expressions, right? So we saw prepositions that we use with those time expressions. So here we have the files, okay? We have the files to give us the support we need in that lesson. Hi, Samuel. Good morning.
Hi,
Hey,
good
good to
morning.
see you. Welcome. Welcome to our class. So we are reviewing here the topics from last week. Okay, so we saw
Okay.
the simple present. We talked about being a good neighbor. We
Oh,
saw time expressions. And we also reviewed how often, questions,
mm,
and adverbs of frequency. Okay.
mm, okay.
The homework was online practice, unit 3.2, and some worksheets. They are right here. All right. So, do
Oh,
you have any questions about the homework? No?
no, I don't.
All right. So, if you have any questions, please send me a message. Okay.
Okay, of
So,
course.
let's move on. Let's move on to our class for today. Okay, let's see that. Hi, Larissa. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome. Oh, how nice, Felipe. Wow. Ain't that a miracle? That's really good. How nice. Hey, Felipe. Welcome. Good
Oh,
morning.
good morning.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Oh, super welcome, Felipe. We miss you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So it's a pleasure, guys, having you all here. Welcome to our class today. We are doing unit 3.3 and then 3.4. Okay. So we are just about to finish unit 3. All right. So if you
Teacher.
have your books, open your books to page 34. So let's take a look there. All right. Good. Can you
Sorry,
see
teacher.
it? Yeah?
After we finish this chapter, we will do the project and
The
all the tests.
test.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. So this is page number 34. And the title is What Can You Do? Okay. We are talking here about job responsibilities, right? I know that maybe some of you don't work yet, but some of you do, right? And you all have responsibilities, okay? So the lesson, I mean, the unit itself, unit 3, is about responsibilities, all right? So before we do the exercise, I'd like to share you a video about the responsibilities of a very interesting profession. I don't know if you have ever seen a video about this profession, but I'm showing you right now here. Can you see the video page? Yes? So the video is what it takes to become a pilot. We are going to see a little bit of United Airlines simulator. So people, it's a lot of responsibility. I can tell you that. Imagine, have you ever flown anywhere? Have you ever traveled by plane? Yes or
No,
no?
never.
Never.
I did
Never.
once.
Y-
No, I did twice.
Oh, really, Felipe? Twice. How
Yeah,
nice. Very good. Where did you go?
I did go.
I went.
Yeah, true. I went to São Paulo and
Mm-hmm.
Santa Catarina. Yeah,
São Paulo and
Santa Catarina.
oh, how nice. That's cool. And did you like the experience of traveling by plane?
I like it. I
Mm,
liked it. I
okay.
didn't. I didn't have so fear to go
Oh,
in
good.
the plane. I found it very secure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not so terrifying as I thought.
Okay. So you were not afraid.
I'm not afraid of it.
Okay. Yes, like a lot of people, right? A lot of people are okay with flying, but some people are afraid. Okay.
Of
What
it.
about you,
Yeah.
Samuel? Thank you, Felipe. What about you, Samuel? Have you ever traveled by plane?
No, I never uh,
Excuse me.
fala, uh,
Never traveled. Okay.
never travel in
Okay, by
plane
plane. All
by
right.
plane.
Hi, Duda. Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you, Mateus. How are you, Duda, Larissa? Hey, good to see you, girls. So I'm asking everybody here if you have ever traveled by plane. Have you? Good morning. Good morning, Duda. So have you ever traveled by plane? No, never. Okay, so we are going to see some responsibilities of pilots. Okay, so let's take a look there. I will turn off the mic so you can enjoy the video better. All right, so let's go.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, looking down the runway, I'm gonna push the throttles up. I would announce 100 knots. We're gonna call V1. So my hands would come off the throttles. Go ahead and start pulling back. There you go, don't be afraid of it. There you go. And then there's a positive rate and the gear's coming up.
I'm not a pilot, but I just took off in an Airbus A320. Okay, so it's not an actual plane, but this $20 million simulator is an exact replica of an A320 cockpit. And the technology inside of it makes it even more complex than the plane itself. Here at United Airlines Flight Training Center in Denver, Colorado, there are 31 flight simulators. And at nearly 500,000 square feet, this facility is one of the largest airline training hubs in the world. All of United's 12,000 pilots come through here for initial training and return every 9 months to stay up to date on flight procedures and safety protocols. Captain Mike McCaskey has been a United pilot for 28 years and showed us what it's like to fly a commercial plane. Tell me a little about what we're looking at here.
All right, so before we get started, we're in an Airbus A320 simulator. We use our training devices to train our pilots from day 1 to day 30, which is how long it takes us to get them through school. So we can simulate in this particular device anything that we want the crews to experience in the operation.
He gave us a detailed description of all the instruments, most of which are only used in case of an emergency. For me, the takeoff wasn't that tough. I used the plane's joystick to climb us to 10,000 feet. But Captain Mike was actually handling the more complex things like monitoring our speed and flight path. So at what point do you switch into autopilot?
Anytime you want. Once we get climbing away from the ground, there's a minimum autopilot engagement altitude that we will use. But, you know, we like to fly, so we'll fly.
So typically autopilot isn't used for takeoff?
No, not for takeoff. Sometimes we'll use it for landing if the weather is required.
How much of the time is the plane in autopilot?
The majority of the time.
Like what would be a situation where you wouldn't want to use it?
Like approach and landing, sometimes you don't want to use it, or if air traffic control is giving you a lot of turns to get into a line for traffic for landings. The autopilot tends to be slow sometimes because it's very customer focused and oriented towards the smoothest ride.
So tell me a little bit about what you're doing in flight.
We're listening to the radio. We're monitoring air traffic control communications. So we'll monitor that, look out the window, obviously make sure we're not flying into storms and those types of things, looking for smooth rides if they're not out there. Once an hour, we'll go through all of the systems pages to make sure everything's performing like it's supposed to.
After taking off in good weather, we then got to experience how pilots handle flying through a thunderstorm.
This is what it looks like on the airplane. We would not fly through the red. We don't even like to fly through the green. So we would turn. We would ask air traffic control for a turn to a heading of 150. We can do that on board. Now you're going to start to turn to the left. And here comes the turbulence. Keep turning. That's why sometimes the autopilot does a nicer job. It's a bit smoother, although it's not as fast.
The simulator tests pilots on everything from engine failure to bad storms to bird strikes. United wouldn't show us what it looks like when you crash in the simulator, but the pilots practice these emergency scenarios every 9 months.
The good thing is we're not doing those types of things in the real world all the time, but we want to make sure our crews are ready to deal with anything.
When I tried landing us at SFO, it was clear that I am not a pilot.
Pull back a little bit.
10.
Ooh, that was my fault. Flying the simulator was a lot harder than I thought it would be, and much more realistic. But the center isn't just for pilots. 1,500 of the airline's 24,000 flight attendants also come through once a year to learn and stay up to date on emergency procedures.
So this is our slide raft that we have here at United Airlines, and this is where every new hire pilot has to go down this once in their careers, as well as flight attendants have to go down this once in their career. And we hope that this is the only time they have to do something like this. Are you ready? All right, my dear. Take one step, and down you go. Sit up, sit up, sit up. Nice job.
United flight attendants also undergo annual trainings on how to deal with medical situations and to evacuate aircrafts.
Release seatbelt, get out, leave everything. The goal that we have at United is there's a 90-second time frame to get an entire plane full of people off of that airplane to still be survivable. Okay, All right, so I'm going to walk you through this.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to do that up. Now you're going to look out, and do you see smoke, fire, debris, or obstruction?
No.
Then go ahead. Big handle does big things. Rotate that handle, let go, and hang on like you did. Come
Get
this
out,
way.
get
Come
out.
this way. That would work. In your words, that would work because you're not trained as a flight attendant.
With all of these resources and replicas for pilots, flight attendants, and technicians, United has invested a hefty sum into its training. The campus has over $1.5 billion in assets on the property. United says that these training protocols are standard across the industry.
If everybody is flying at the safest level, then we're all better off for it. We will compete vigorously on product and service, but we won't compete on safety.
After seeing the facility and learning how rigorous the training is, I feel assured that pilots are so well trained that they're ready for anything, no matter what happens.
Very nice, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, very
Yeah,
nice.
a lot of responsibility. That's why it takes a lot of training, right? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So, what did you like most about the video and the training? The side of the pilot or the side of the flight attendant? Because they showed two different kinds of training, right?
Yeah,
So,
I
so
would say
go ahead, go ahead.
I like more. I don't know. It's more pleasurable. It was more pleasurable to me. Uh, the side of the pilot, but
Mm,
that side of the flight attendant interesting in the part of checking some parts if you can, you know, Bruce, follow your training. So she looks through the window and she checks if outside there is some fog or smoke due to some problem. I found it very interesting.
yeah, it actually is. It is very interesting. And that center, the United Airlines Training Center, helps a lot of people, right, who, of course, join their company, pilots and flight attendants alike. And you see, they receive a lot of training, right? So it
Mhm.
requires preparation so that you can be a good professional, right? So, yeah, a lot of responsibility. So, let's take a look at some other vocabulary related to job responsibilities, right? Hi, Claudinha. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, teacher.
Good.
Desculpa o atraso.
That's okay. No problem. I'm happy that you made it, right? You're here. So let's take a look at our page here, number 34, okay, if you have your book. So let's do the first activity together. Here they say, complete the sentences with words from the box. Okay, so we are talking here about job responsibilities, okay? So here we have the words, right? Like lead, manage, develop. Let's separate verbs and nouns, okay? Let's put them in two different groups. So the verbs I will highlight in green, okay? So here we can have lead as a verb. Oh my God. I'm sorry about it, guys. So lead is a verb. What other verb do we have there? Can you tell me? Yes,
Sorry,
develop,
teacher,
manage.
and manage, and would serve be a verb?
Could be, yeah, sure. All right, here we have the ones we usually use as a verb, okay? Lead, manage, develop, serve. The other ones, they are nouns, okay? So, of course, research can also be used as a verb, right? But usually we say we do research, okay? Let's see how they are going to use it here in the text. So the first one, I'm applying for a job. I need to tell them about my past work. So when you are applying for a job, you go to an interview, and what do they usually ask you to tell? So we know that in this sentence, we are not using a verb because there is a verb here, okay? I need to tell them. So here we have the verb. So obviously here we need to use a noun, okay? So which noun do you think we should put there? Let me try to zoom in. Okay.
Teacher,
Yeah,
this first one I would put experience.
very good, Philippe. Very good, Felipe. Experience fits there, okay? So usually when you go to a job interview, you talk about your past work experience, okay? Great. Next, what do you think? Which word do you think fits number 2? Nurses have a lot of,
Teachers,
like, yeah,
I would put their responsibilities.
great. Yes, that's the best one. So here we need to use a noun, okay? So responsibilities. Yeah, the word
In the book,
doesn't,
the
it
in the
doesn't,
book, the space to write this word is very small.
very small. Yeah, here too. Here too. We don't have enough room to write the words. So, all right.
Okay.
Next one, guys. Managers do a lot. They, large groups of people.
Uh,
So here we should use a verb because there is no other verb in the sentence here. Can you see? Look, they, large groups of people. So it's missing a verb.
teacher, in the
Yeah,
third one, the first space, this verb, you know, it's a lot of word would be lead.
can be, but maybe there is a better word to put there, a better option.
I thought manage, but I thought manage to be more, you know, fitable to meetings. Don't you think?
Oh, could be, could be. Yeah. They lead large groups of people, manage meetings they make important
This third slot is decisions.
decisions. Okay. All right. You make important decisions. All right. Good. Now we are in doubt here, right? So we can say that managers manage people because they have to organize the groups, they have to command everybody, divide the group in a way that they can work well together and give them their tasks. So it's a way to manage people, we can say that. And they also lead meetings because they usually chair the meeting. They usually conduct the meetings when they hold meetings, right? When you are a manager, you are usually the leader of a meeting, right? Not always, we know that, but most of the times, okay? So here we can say they manage large groups of people and lead, another verb, okay? So we
Okay.
had two verbs here,
But
lead
teacher,
and uh-huh.
in what way do I see that they leave? But this lead would be metaphoric, isn't it?
Yeah, metaphoric, sure, because lead is to it's like in Portuguese, liderar. So
Yeah, I thought.
it's similar.
Oh,
Yeah, it's similar.
we use a metaphor like encabeçar.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Uh-huh. When you
I
lead
understood.
a meeting, yeah, when you lead a meeting, it's the same as you conduct the
Yeah.
meeting. Okay? That's the metaphorical meaning I put there. Okay?
Hmm.
All right. Now, number 4. My brother works with computers. He writes software. Yes, very good, Julie. Programs.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So far, so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Number 5. My mother is a scientist. She works at a lab and does important cancer.
Research.
Yes, great. Very good. So research here is a noun, okay? And
Teacher.
yeah,
This is still the the medic who works with cancer, oncologist in English, or there is another
oncologist,
word.
oncologist.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, number 6, I work at a fast food restaurant. I help and them their food.
The first slot would be customers. The
Uh-huh.
second
Great.
one is serve.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, guys, come on. I want everybody else to participate as well, okay? So I help customers and serve them their food. The last one, in art class, we work on some cool, our ideas into interesting paintings.
Some the first slot, I think, it is products.
Yes, that's right. Bingo. Good.
The second one, develop.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. The second one is a verb, right? We develop our ideas. Very good. Let's check the answers to see if we are all correct. Yay, everything right. So this exercise talks about job responsibilities or job-related vocabulary, okay? All right, people. Okie dokie. So let me take one more picture here. Now we are going to move down a little bit and answer this personalized question here. They want us to choose 3 expressions from exercise number 1 here. Write sentences about your job or responsibilities or about someone you know. Here we have an example. Can you read the example, please, Julie?
My friend has 3 children, so she has a lot of tools.
Very good. Thank you. So obviously, right? 3 children, that's a lot, right? Okay. So we should try and write 2 more examples using the words from the box. So what else can we say? Any idea? We saw a video about pilots, remember, in the beginning of our class today. We can use this sentence here with a small change, of course, and write a sentence about flight attendants. Okay? Yes? Did anybody say anything? Okay, so we can put here, for example, flight attendants help passengers. So here we are changing the word from customers to passengers, okay? And serve them their food. Okay, so we just replaced the first word here and we put passengers because when you're flying, you are a passenger. Of course, you are a customer, but inside the airplane, you are a passenger. Okay. One more sentence. Oh, very nice. Awesome, Felipe. Okay, we just need to fix the sentence. Yeah, very good. Right on time. Because after preposition, we should use ing. So, okay, good one. I have the responsibility of doing the lunch dishes. Okay. All right. Very good, Felipe. Awesome. Any other example, people? If you want, suppose you are, I don't know what you're doing at college, but if you are doing anything that involves research, you can make a sentence about it. Just replace the topic of your research, okay? So we can have one more, like for example, suppose you are doing biomedicine at college, right? So let's say I'm a biomedicine major and I do research on diseases, okay? In general, okay? I'm a biomedicine major. What is a biomedicine major? What is that, people?
Sou uma médica melhor.
It's a scientist of biomedicine.
Yeah, actually, when I say major, I'm talking about a student of biomedicine.
Oh,
Yeah. If you are a major in something, it means that you are a student or you were a student in the past. Okay, so suppose, yeah.
well, even if I say I am a major, biomedicine major, is still it means that I
Yeah.
was a student.
Yes,
Or
it can mean that you finished and you are doing a training course or that you are still a student. Okay. So for example, if you go to let's say physical education college, or if you do math or any topic, let's say you go to law school, you can say that I'm a law, let's put it big, I'm a law school major and I finish college next year. Suppose you are doing your final semesters, okay? And then you say, oh, I'm a law school major and I finished college next year. All right,
but
so
teacher,
yeah.
every student can call himself, you know, a major of something.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Every student can call himself a major in something, or
Yeah, every topic that you do at college, we say major
at college.
for college.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's exclusive for college students, like architecture, biology, okay, whatever, information technology, okay. When you finish, then you become a professional. So for example, when the law school major finishes law school, he will become a lawyer. All right. So after, of course, doing the exam they have to do when they finish college, they go through a very important exam, but then after that, they are lawyers, okay? Here, a biomedicine major, when he or she finishes, this person will become a bio doctor or a biomedicine technician. So there is a profession, okay? But the person is not a major anymore. The person is not studying anymore. Okay? All right,
Okay.
Felipe.
All
Okay.
right.
So when I say major, I'm talking about the study time or the period during college, right? Okay. So here, back to our responsibilities. We made those three questions, I mean, those three sentences. Now they want us to do another activity. They say, look at the job ads. Sorry. If you don't know, let me ask you, I don't know if you know about it, but what is a job ad?
Sorry, teacher.
What's the meaning? What's the meaning of job ads? What is that?
Can I say in Portuguese or in English?
Yes, you can say in Portuguese if you want. No.
Seria propaganda de trabalho, um, uma, uma proposta de trabalho.
Yeah, okay. Very good. In Portuguese, we usually say classificados, right?
Ah,
Isn't it? There is a section, I guess, in newspapers and now online where they offer job opportunities. So we call those places job ads or those posts, right? Either on newspaper or online, all right? So we can find job ads, all right? So classificados de emprego, okay? Job
ok.
ads, right? So look at the job ads. What responsibilities does each job have? So here there is one example, a place called Angelina's, right? Probably a restaurant. Yeah, it's a pizza place, right? So Angelina's, what are the responsibilities? Cook, serve, or deliver. Okay, so Julie may know this a lot, right? Because you work at a kind of restaurant or bar, right? So do you also have to cook there? No, your mother. Okay. But do you help serve or deliver? Ah, okay. So Julie has a similar experience where she works, right? She has a family restaurant and she helps her family. So nowadays, it's really common to have places like that because we all need to eat somehow, right? So restaurants, bars, pizza places, we can find them everywhere. And it's nice when we have a nice place to go, run by a family, especially. It's really good. Okay. So here they have Angelina's Pizza, and the responsibilities are cook, serve, or deliver food. Now, I will give you 1 minute to see the other ones, okay? You put the name of the company and then you put the responsibilities next to it, okay? So let me try to minimize a little bit so you can see all the job ads. So here you go. Yeah. The first one is Angelina's, right? You don't need that anymore. All right. Go ahead. Okay, guys, 2 minutes, you can do it. It's money. Okay, finished? It's really simple, right? You just need to find the responsibilities. So let me cancel here. Okay, guys. So what about the next place here? Royal House. That's the name of the company. What are the responsibilities? Yes, clean houses, right? Probably they are a company that provide the service of cleaning houses, and they have a team of house cleaners they manage, and then they offer this service. Now, Uptown Furniture, what are the responsibilities? Very good. And develop ideas to grow their business. Okay. So lead a large team, develop ideas. What about Helios Labs? Yeah, so the responsibility here is to do important medical research, okay, or work on a project. The last one, Wayside Farm. What are the responsibilities? Yeah, and work with animals. Yes. All right. So you see, guys, each job ad brings information about the job, but very briefly, and some responsibilities. They also say what they require, right, for you to do that job. All right, people. So now let's move on to the next page here. We are going to see some ways to talk about yourself when you apply for a job. Okay. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you. That's okay. No problem. Don't worry. Okie dokie. Oh, I see. Don't worry, that's okay. I'm glad you made it. Okay, guys, so let me take a picture here. Good. So we are doing here, if I'm not mistaken, page 35. Let me check. Yeah, page 35 of the book. Okay. Even if you don't have the book, you write it down on your notebook that this refers to page 35. Okay. So what do they want us to focus now on? They want us to see the listening tip of the lesson. Okay. And the listening tip of today is recognizing linkers for addition. So first of all, what are linkers? As the name says, linkers are words that connect ideas or sentences. They make the connection, they link. That's why we call them linkers. Okay. Now, take a look here. Linkers are words or phrases that connect ideas. Okay. When someone is giving information and wants to add a related idea, they use expressions like also, in addition, and, as well as. Okay. Also and in addition often begin a sentence and there is a comma after them, especially if you begin, okay, a sentence using them. Here we have an example. Okay, look, I'm studying business at college. In addition, comma, I work part-time in an office. Okay. Here, you could also say also, comma, I work part-time in an office. We can also use also before the verb. Here, you could say, I'm studying business at college. I also work part-time in an office. And then here, no comma, okay? Now, in fast speech, the expressions and as well as are shortened, okay? Because you were speaking fast, so, right? Example, I studied English and French. So it sounds more like this, right? English and French, connected. I have experience teaching children as well as adults. So it sounds like as well as, all right, with a Z sound, especially because the word that follows starts with a vowel sound. Okay. All right, people. So let's practice a little bit before we go to our break. Here, listen and complete the sentences with the correct linker. Okay. Take a look at the sentences first before you listen. Okay, people. Now let's listen and complete with the missing part. Okay, let's go.
1. I majored in computer science. Also, I worked at the university computer lab for 2 years.
2.
I helped students as well as teachers with their computer problems.
3. I'm a scientist and a professor. In addition, I do research and develop robots. 4.
I have 10 years of experience cleaning homes as well as office buildings.
5.
I work quickly and I always do excellent work.
1.
I majored in computer science. Also, I worked at the university computer lab for 2 years.
2.
I helped students as well as teachers with their computer problems.
3. I'm a scientist and a professor. In addition, I do research and develop robots. 4.
I have 10 years of experience cleaning homes as well as office buildings.
5.
I work quickly and I always do excellent work.
All right, people. Yes, was the audio okay? All right. So let's check the answers. Let's say the first one, what did you put? Very good. Observe in the beginning, right? And then after that, a comma. Number 2, as well as. Yes. You will notice that as well as usually comes between nouns, okay? So here we have students as well as teachers, okay? Number 3, and a professor. Okay, I do research. So it's very similar, as well as and they are similar. Number 4. Office buildings. Again, you can see that homes, office buildings, right? Number 5. Very good. Notice that? Yeah? Okay, so checking the answers. Everything correct. So in this lesson, it's important to know how to use the linkers and the punctuation we should use, right? So after also and in addition, we should use a comma. Okay, guys, don't forget. Now, with the linker and, we have 2 situations. When the linker is separating 2 nouns simply, scientist and a professor, no comma. But when you are using and to separate 2 sentences, then you have to use a comma before the linker. Okay? Example here. I work quickly. Another sentence. I always do excellent work. And I decided to use the linker and, so I should use a comma before. All right, people? Okay? Very good. As well as doesn't need a comma. Okay? All right. Important considerations. So here, we talked about the technical side of the sentence, especially because we're discussing linkers, but I just want to mention that these sentences, they usually help people who are looking for a job and they are doing an interview. So it's when you are talking about your past experience, okay? So look, the word major appeared here. Look, but this time as a verb. Okay, Felipe, you were asking about it. So let me zoom in so you can see here. Look, I majored in computer science. So what does that mean? I finished my course in computer science. I graduated. Okay, I finished. But when he was a student, he was a computer science major. Okay, but when he finished, then he majored. Okay, all right, okay. So when you finish college, you can say, oh, I majored in languages, or I majored in geography or biology or whatever. Okay. And here he's describing his experience. Look, I majored in computer science. Also, I worked at the university computer lab for 2 years. Okay. So this is really useful, guys, when you need to talk about your experience in English, right? Look, I have 10 years of experience cleaning homes or doing whatever, but then you know that after this sentence, we should use verbs with ing, right? Very good. Excellent ideas. So just one more activity and then we go. Okay, let's just do number 5. Listen to the phone conversations. Brian needs a job. Which 2 ads does he respond to? Okay, so let's listen.
Good morning, Angelina's.
Hello. I'm wondering if you're hiring right now.
What job are you looking for?
Oh, waiter, on the weekend.
What kind of experience do you have?
Well, I volunteer once a month at a soup kitchen. I serve about 100 meals to hungry people in need. In addition, I help prepare the meals as well as clean the kitchen.
Well, restaurant work is a little different from a soup kitchen. Customers pay for their meals here. A waiter's job is to serve food to customers at their tables, as well as to keep the customers happy.
I understand that. Listen, I'm very good with people, and I also learn fast. I think I can do the job.
Well, I don't make the decisions here.
Oh, okay. Who makes the decisions?
My manager.
Okay. Who is your manager?
Bob. He usually gets here at 5. Why don't you call back then?
Okay, thanks.
Helios Labs, can I help you?
Yes, hi, my name is Brian. I'm calling about the part-time assistant job.
Oh, okay. What work experience do you have, Brian?
Well, I don't have any work experience in this area, but I'm a science student at the university. I'm majoring in biology, and I take several lab classes, so I know how to work in a lab. In addition to that, I'm very interested in medical research, and I read about it almost every day.
I see. Well, that sounds great. Do you have time to come in and meet with our director this week?
Sure. Who is the director?
Her name is Dr. Banyan. She's usually here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
All right, so Of course, we will have a chance to listen again, but just for the first listening, can you tell us which two ads he responds to?
He responds to Angelina's Pizza Restaurant
Uh-huh.
and to Helios Lab.
Yes, great. Fantastic. And yeah, he needs a job, right? So he's trying everything, okay? So we are going to see more about his experience so we can evaluate if he can work at Angelina's or at Hilliard's, right? So, but then we'll do that after the break, okay? So
Okay.
after the break, we'll discuss, okay? So guys, now we have our break time. Let's have some coffee. Um, we have like 10 minutes, and then after that we come back and we'll discuss about Brian. Okay, we will also do the next lesson, which is very important because it's a video lesson. It's the video lesson of unit 3. Okay, so we will see Max and the professor and the boys in action. All right. Yay.
Yeah.
So I'll meet you after the break. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Hi guys, we're coming back. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go back, people. So back to our book here, page 37 or 35? No, 35. Okay. We are doing the activity about Brian looking for a job, okay? Here on the previous page, we have the job ads. So there is Angelina's, there is the Royal House, Uptown Furniture, and Helios Labs and Wayside Farm. Brian responds to Angelina's and to Helios Labs. And he decides to call because different from the conventional way, because now we usually send our emails, right? We send our curriculums via email when we want to apply. These ones here, they are probably offering you to call. They want to have the applicant call the company. This is not very common, right? So he calls Angelina's and he also calls Helios Lab. As it says here, look, call now, training on May 15th, right? So he calls. Let's see what happened, okay, in the phone calls. So listen again to the phone calls and choose all the correct answers. So before we listen, let's take a look at the options, okay? So number one, what does Brian do at the soup kitchen where he works? Okay. So we may choose more than one option, okay? Number two, what job responsibilities does the woman describe? Number three, why does Brian think he's qualified for the first job? And the last one, what experience does Brian have related to the second job? Okay, now let's listen. I will play twice, okay?
Good morning, Angelina's.
Hello. I'm wondering if you're hiring right now.
What job are you looking for?
Oh, waiter on the weekend.
What kind of experience do you have?
Well, I volunteer once a month at a soup kitchen. I serve about 100 meals to hungry people in need. In addition, I help prepare the meals as well as clean the kitchen.
Well, restaurant work is a little different from a soup kitchen. Customers pay for their meals here. A waiter's job is to serve food to customers at their tables, as well as to keep the customers happy.
I understand that. Listen, I'm very good with people, and I also learn fast. I think I can do the job.
Well, I don't make the decisions here.
Oh, okay. Who makes the decisions?
My manager.
Okay. Who is your manager?
Bob. He usually gets here at 5. Why don't you call back then?
Okay, thanks.
Helios Labs, can I help you?
Yes, hi, my name is Brian. I'm calling about the part-time assistant job.
Oh, okay. What work experience do you have, Brian?
Well, I don't have any work experience in this area, but I'm a science student at the university. I'm majoring in biology and I take several lab classes, so I know how to work in a lab. In addition to that, I'm very interested in medical research and I read about it almost every day.
I see. Well, that sounds great. Do you have time to come in and meet with our director this week?
Sure. Who is the director?
Her name is Dr. Banyan. She's usually here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
All right, I will play one more time, now regular speed, okay?
Good morning, Angelina's.
Hello. I'm wondering if you're hiring right now.
What job are you looking for?
Oh, waiter, on the weekend.
What kind of experience do you have?
Well, I volunteer once a month at a soup kitchen. I serve about 100 meals to hungry people in need. In addition, I help prepare the meals as well as clean the kitchen.
Well, restaurant work is a little different from a soup kitchen. Customers pay for their meals here. A waiter's job is to serve food to customers at their tables, as well as to keep the customers happy.
I understand that. Listen, I'm very good with people, and I also learn fast. I think I can do the job.
Well, I don't make the decisions here.
Oh, okay. Who makes the decisions?
My manager.
Okay. Who is your manager?
Bob. He usually gets here at 5. Why don't you call back then?
Okay, thanks.
Helios Labs, can I help you?
Yes, hi, my name is Brian. I'm calling about the part-time assistant job.
Oh, okay. What work experience do you have, Brian?
Well, I don't have any work experience in this area, but I'm a science student at the university. I'm majoring in biology and I take several lab classes, so I know how to work in a lab. In addition to that, I'm very interested in medical research and I read about it almost every day.
I see. Well, that sounds great. Do you have time to come in and meet with our director this week?
Sure. Who is the director?
Her name is Dr. Banyan. She's usually here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
All right, I think you got it, right? So let's check the answers. The first one, people, what does Brian do at the soup kitchen? Prepares, okay, and cleans. Yeah. So he works in many different areas there, right? And it's a volunteer work, right? It's not really a paid job. He's a volunteer, okay? Number 2, what job responsibilities does the woman Describe. Yes, and no. Okay. Serve and keep customers happy. All right, because there it's a restaurant, so you don't really have to prepare any food. As a waiter, you have to serve and keep customers happy. Why does Brian think he's qualified for the first job? And I don't know. I don't think so. What do you have there, people? Yeah, he learns fast. That's what he said. Because he doesn't have restaurant experience. Here, the soup kitchen is a volunteer work. It's not a restaurant. Okay. So it's different. Okay. And this job, the soup kitchen, he works once a week, right? That's a volunteer work he does, and he helps hungry people, maybe in the streets, right? So it's not a restaurant, okay? The last one. What experience does Brian have related to the second job? Mm-hmm.
He takes lab classes.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a lot about medical research.
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 Good. Very good. The three of them. All right. Checking everything. Yay, correct. All right, people. So we talked about responsibilities related to 2 job openings. And the focus now is noticing subject and object questions in the simple present. What are these things, right? And why do we need to learn this to speak English? So let's take a look here, guys. In subject questions, the question word is the subject. So let's try to brainstorm here some question words. Do you remember some question words we have in English? So let's brainstorm question words. We have who, right? What else? What? Okay. Why? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. When? Where? Come on, help me out. How? Mm-hmm. We have whose when we want to ask about possession, right? So let's include this here, whose, and then how. Of course, we have those 2-part question words like how long, how often, what time, right? How old. So these are question words formed by 2 separate words, right? One of these and another word. We can ask, for example, what time is our class? What time, right? Here with how, we can ask, how old are you? How old are you? Okay, so I'm not including those question words here in our list, okay? Well, these are question words in general. So what do they want to say here? Subject questions are the ones in which the question word is the subject. And we don't use auxiliaries, do or does, because, you know, guys, in questions, we learned that in the simple present, we should use auxiliaries do or does, right, to make a question. Okay, so here, we don't use the auxiliary. So look, we have the subject, then the main verb, and then the object. Look, who makes the decisions? This sentence is from the listening, okay? Who makes the decisions? It's a question. It starts with a question word, and it doesn't have auxiliary verb as we usually use, okay? So who makes the decision? So who is the subject, okay? That's what a subject question is, okay? Now, in object questions, the question word is the object. So then we use do or does in the simple present. Example here, look. What job experience do you have? So here, you is the subject, okay? And the question word is the object, okay? So here, look. All right. So we are evaluating here questions, okay, guys? Questions in the simple present. When we use the auxiliary and when we don't use the auxiliary, okay? So there is more about it on page 161. You can see that. But let's do this exercise here in number 7. Look at the question word. Write subject or object. Okay? So let's take a look here. Number 1, who is the director of your language school? So look at the question word. Is it a subject or an object? Yes, subject. Very good. So here, let me because here I can naturally replace who and put the name of a person. And imagine this sentence here is affirmative, okay? So we can say, Anthony is the director of your language school. If I put a name here, replacing the question word for a name, I can clearly see that it is the subject. Okay? All right, people, do you get it? Yes? Next one. Who do you practice your English with? Object. Perfect. So I'm going to change the color here of the object. So we can differentiate here. Let's put the object green, okay? All right, so here it's object, all right? Okay, the subject is you, so you have the auxiliary. Who do you, okay? Number 3, what makes a job interesting? Yes, great, you got it. Subject, okay. Number 4, what kind of work do you like doing? Yes, brilliant. Number 5, what is your biggest responsibility right now? Yes, congratulations, very good. That's easy. Okay, guys, so this is only for you to know that not all questions in the simple present will have the auxiliary, okay? When we are using question words, okay? When we are not using question words, yes, we must use the auxiliary. But when we are using question words, we don't use auxiliaries if the question word is the subject, okay? So let's check the answers. So here, the subject, 1, 3, and 5, okay? So let's check. Yes. Very good. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, so far so good. Yeah. So with that, we practically finished page 35. Yes, look, sorry about this moving with the screen, guys. Here, they want us to practice a little bit asking and answering the questions from exercise number 7. So here, question number 1. You can ask if you want, or you can answer. Okay? So let me ask Julie. Let me see if Julie knows. Julie, who is the director of your language school? Ah. All right. So she doesn't know. Do you know, guys? Do you have any idea? Who is the director of your language school? I guess nobody knows, right? Here. Nobody knows. Oh my God. So the director of your language school is Sandro. That's his name. Yes. He is the CEO, actually, right? We call him a director, but... Yes. There is a video now, Julie remembered. There is a video where he talks about the importance of learning English, right? So that is our director, our CEO, okay? Sometimes he comes here, all right? But he's always around. He's always in touch with Vanessa. Vanessa is the manager, right? And Sandra is the director. Yes? Oh, yeah, he's usually on Instagram. If you go to our page on Instagram, you can see some videos with him. Okay. I guess the most recent is when he talks about the importance of learning English. Okay. So that's our director. All right. Number 2, guys. Who do you practice your English with? That's a good question. Julie said, me, myself, and me. All right. What about you guys? Who do you practice your English with? Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice, Felipe. You watch videos, all right, or you listen to videos or podcasts. All right, that's good. It's a good way. Yeah, it's not very easy to find someone to practice English. It's not really easy, right? Yeah, yeah, that's right. Next one. What makes a job interesting?
Professora. Professora.
Yes, exactly. Meeting new people, all right. When you meet new people, when the pay is good, that's interesting, right? When you have a good salary and when you have chances to grow and to learn new things, right? So this is really interesting. Um, any other idea, people, you would like to add here to number 3? So next one. What kind of work do you like doing? Do you like working with technology, with science? No? What kind of work do you like doing? Do you think you would like to be a pilot or a flight attendant? No. That's a lot of work. A nurse, maybe? Yeah. Would you like to be a nurse?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God. Really? Oh, okay. So Julie said she would like to be a nurse. Yeah? Do you want to go to nursing college too? I mean, do you want to study that in college?
Penso em estudar. Não por agora.
Mm.
Primeiro vou fazer a faculdade de medicina.
Ah, how nice. All right. So she will do physical education first at college. This is really nice. Very good. I think it's an interesting science. I like learning about how the body works and how to make it healthier. So physical education is good. That's good. Yeah. What is your biggest responsibility right now? Ah, this you can answer. Okay. No? I think your biggest responsibility right now is to study, right? This is your responsibility. You have to study to finish your courses, to graduate and move on, right? Yeah, you're building your future. So now, if you are not working at the moment, your biggest responsibility as a student is to study. All right, people. Great. So now let's take a look at our characters, right? Let's see what Max, Andy, the professor, what they're up to. Okay. So this is our lesson 3.4, a few requests. So before we start, I'd like to ask you, what is a request? Do you know? No idea, guys. The students who are online can search Google. Very nice, Felipe. Yeah, so these are your responsibilities. Oh, how nice. Are you studying law? Are you doing law school? Okay. My previous question was about responsibility. What is your biggest responsibility right now? Okay. Oh, okay. I see. You're studying on your own. All right. So you say on my own. Okay. I'm studying on my own. All right. I understand. The next question, yeah, don't worry. The next question is, because we moved to lesson 3.4, and I'd like to know if you know the meaning of the word request. So what is a request? Okay. Yes, very good, Felipe. Okay. Can you all see it? So Felipe said in Portuguese. That's okay. So a request is when you need something. So you make it formal. You ask. Okay. You make a request. Usually something more formal. All right. So the lesson title is A Few Requests. So let's take a look at the pictures. What are they doing here? Are they sleeping?
No.
Okay. Are they, oh, they're talking on the, oh, okay. They're talking on the phone. And I don't know if you remember, but this is Max. And what about this one here? Who is he? He's the professor. He is Max's professor in art history. Okay. So he's an art history professor. Really good. People, take a look here. How do you ask for something politely? we are going to see there are some ways to make that kind of request, okay? When you ask for something in a polite way, all right? Do you understand the meaning of politely? No? Politely has to do with good manners, right? So, how do you ask for something educadamente? Okay, in Portuguese. No, Felipe, no, we can't hear you. I think your microphone is not working. Okay. So here they want us to think of phrases that we might use, okay, to ask for something in a store, for example, and phrases to use at home with our family, okay? So let's take a look there. Before we start, they want us to think of those phrases, sorry. So when you go to a store, for example, to buy something, how do you ask questions? Oh, I'm so sorry, Felipe. We can't hear you. Oh, don't worry, that's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes it happens. So let's brainstorm some possible questions we ask when we want something in a store, okay? So we usually go like this. Let's say, we say, oh, we say, could you please, right? Sometimes we start like this. When we are looking for something specific, you say, oh, could you please show me where, da, 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 right? Suppose you are in a department store like Americanas or Renner or Riachuelo, whatever, and you're looking for a special T-shirt. So you can ask the person, oh, could you please, sorry, could you please tell me where I can find this T-shirt? Maybe you have the T-shirt on your cell phone, right? You have the picture of the T-shirt because you visited the store online and now you want to see the T-shirt, okay? Sometimes we do that, right? We see something online, but then we go to the store and we want to see before we buy it. So we show the cell phone, right? Could you please tell me where I can find this T-shirt? Okay, so that's a way we ask, and it's very polite. All right. Usually we start with "excuse me." Okay. Um, I'm looking for. You say. Suppose you are at an electronics store and you're looking for a specific laptop. So you can say, excuse me, I'm looking for this laptop. Do you have it? Or So usually we do this. Nowadays, with cell phones, we buy things online more often, right? So, and when we go to a store, we usually have a picture or we have some information about what we want to buy before we go. And when we don't, we simply communicate. We tell the person what we want, okay? So as you notice, we are more polite when we are talking to people who are strangers, right? So in public places like stores, at the bank, places like that. And at home with our family, how do we interact when we need a favor? Do we say, could you please tell me, or excuse me? Do we say that? No, not really. At home with our family, we usually go straight on, right, and ask. So let's ask the same question here. You want to find a t-shirt, but at home, okay? A t-shirt that you like, but you can't find. How do you ask your mother? You can say, Mom, where's my t-shirt? Okay? Yeah. Have you seen it? Uh-huh. Exactly, Julie. Julie said exactly what goes on. When you ask your mother for something, like finding a t-shirt that you like, you can say, hey, Mom, where's my t-shirt? Have you seen it? And then she goes, I will go there, and if I find it, I will rub it on your face. All right. Because sometimes it's hard to find things right at home. So you see, completely different. Okay. Okay. And the next one, you're looking for a laptop, right? Suppose you lost your laptop at home. You don't know where it is. So you can start like this. Hey, where's my laptop? Okay. We go straight on and say that. Oh, hey, where's my laptop? I can't find it anywhere. Okay. Is anybody using my laptop? Sometimes you ask, right? Sometimes people borrow, right? They just take things that you're looking for. They have it. So you go like, hey, is anybody using my laptop? So the approach is different. Okay, guys, as you can see. So I will try to put everything on the screen so you can compare in a store, at home, okay? And especially here in the second part, in colloquial English, we don't really say that. Have you seen it? We go sometimes and say, seen it? Or did you see it? Did you see it? Right? So sometimes we don't even use the correct verb tense at home, right? Okay, guys, can I close? All right. Now let's see what happened here. Watch the video, read the statements, and then choose true or false. Okay. So before we watch the video, I would like you to read the statements in silence. Okay. Just read. See if you understand. Okay, yes? So let's watch the video and then find out. Okay.
Good morning, this is Jack Armstrong.
Hello, this is Max from your art history class.
Yes, of course. Hello, Max, how are you?
Good, thanks. Since you're my advisor, I'd like to meet with you.
Sure. What would you like to discuss?
I'd like to discuss my major and a scholarship.
Great, great. You're thinking ahead.
Well, yeah, I am. Is it possible to make an appointment for tomorrow after class?
Sure. I have office hours from 2 p.m. until 5.
Thanks, Professor Armstrong.
My pleasure, Max. I'll see you tomorrow after class. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Max.
Hi, Andy. Could I ask you a favor? Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm watching a movie.
Oh, I forgot my art history book. Could you bring it to me at the main building in 10 minutes? I just don't have time to go home before class.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I don't want to be any trouble.
No worries. That's what friends are for.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
All right, people. So let's see if we can do this with only one take, okay? Let's see. The professor doesn't know Max. Yeah, that's false. The professor is Max's advisor. True. Yes. Max wants to meet with the professor to talk about a campus job. Yeah? Max is going to meet the professor at his office tomorrow. True. Andy forgot 2 important things in the apartment. Andy forgot or Max forgot? Max forgot. So this is false. And finally, Max arranges to meet Andy at the main building. True. Okay, let's check the answers straight away. Yay! Everything correct. Congratulations. Very good, guys. Okay, so briefly, just so you know what's going on in the story, okay? So the professor is Max's advisor, and then Max wants to meet with the professor to talk about his major and also about a campus job, okay? And so on. So here we have some sentences we use when requesting things by phone. So here we go. There are many ways, guys, to ask for something. When we feel confident and we don't think we are asking for too much, we use polite, direct phrases. So, like this: I'd like to, or could you please tell me, right? Or could you tell me, da 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 da, please? The ones we gave up when we were at the store. Okay. Do you have time to, when it's not something so difficult? Now, if we're worried that our request is not convenient for the other person, we use less direct phrases. Example: I'm wondering if you could bring me my book. Do you know the meaning of I'm wondering? No? When we ask questions or making requests, when we make requests with I'm wondering if you could, da 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 da, it's because I'm asking for something complicated or something like, you know, not very convenient. So we say, I'm wondering if we could meet tomorrow after class. So I'm wondering in Portuguese means, eu tava pensando se, okay? That's the idea. Here in the first example, he says, oh, eu tava pensando se você poderia trazer meu livro aqui na faculdade. Because he forgot the book, right? So this is not very convenient to ask a roommate to bring your material to college, right? Because you left it home. Another way to start: would you mind giving me a ride home? So another typical phrase we use when asking for not so convenient requests. Would you mind is the same as você se importaria, right? De me dar uma carona, okay? So would you mind giving me a ride? One thing to remember: after this phrase, would you mind, I have to use a verb in the ing form, okay? This is a very important thing to remember, okay? Would you mind doing my homework? Gosh. Imagine if you ask someone to do your homework for you because you don't have time. You can ask someone like this. Of course, you should never do it, but just as an example, would you mind doing my homework this week? Yeah. It's like, você se importaria em fazer o meu trabalho? Gosh, right? Next one. Is it possible for you to do this or that? Or is it possible for me, when you are asking someone maybe permission to do something? So you go, oh, is it possible for me to replace my classes on Saturday? Suppose you have some classes to replace and you can't come on Friday. You can't make it on Friday. So you can ask, oh, is it possible for me to replace my classes on Monday or Tuesday? Okay. All right, guys. So let me highlight this one as well. So these are requests about not so convenient things, right? Or not. The problem here is not whether or not it's convenient, but these are like more difficult requests, okay? Sometimes we add extra phrases to show that we know we are asking a lot. So we can say, can I ask you a favor? Or sorry to bother you. This word here, bother. Do you know the meaning, Julie? And everybody, do you know the meaning of bother? When I say sorry to bother you, what am I saying? No? So sorry to bother you is the same as desculpe incomodar. Okay? Mas okay, so it's before you make a request. Okay, so we go like, sorry to bother you, but could you lend me your cell phone? Imagine, right? Suppose you need to make a call and you run out of battery. You don't have battery on your phone. So you ask a friend for a cell phone. So you go like, oh, sorry to bother you, but could you lend me your phone? I need to make a call. Great. Now, if you have time, could you please write an article about da-da-da? Or if possible is also another way to ask. I can say, okay, guys, if possible, right? Subscribe to our spelling bee. There is going to be a spelling bee here, right? So subscribe if possible. Please sign up, actually, right? Not subscribe, but sign up. I would like you to really sign up because you can speak English really well. You are book 2, so you can do it, all right? So if possible, sign up, okay? The link is there. We posted on the groups, okay? So the next one, it helps to add an explanation. So the person understands your situation. So sometimes when you ask or you make a request, you explain the reason. You say, oh, my car broke down. Could you give me a ride, please? Okay. If the person says yes, thank them. If they say no, it's good to make sure they don't feel bad about it. Okay. So look, request accepted. Could I borrow your car today? Oh, sure. No problem. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Okay, this is a little unusual. Next one, request rejected. Do you have time to pick me up at the train station? Julie.
I'm sorry, I don't. I'm busy with mother.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks anyway. Okay, so you don't let the other person feel bad, okay, because the person can't do what we asked for. Okay. All right, people. So just for us to finish, they want us to watch the video again and answer the questions. We have 3 questions about the video and then we are done. Okay, guys? So look, write one of the phrases that Max uses when making a request to his professor. Okay? Then write one phrase that Max uses when making a request to Andy. And how are Max's phrases, tone, and attitude different in each situation? Okay, and why do you think so? Obvious reasons, right? One is formal and the other is informal. But let's see the phrases that he uses, okay? Just one more time, okay, guys? I promise after that, we finish.
Good morning, this is Jack Armstrong. Good morning, this is Jack Armstrong.
Hello, this is Max from your art history class.
Yes, of course. Hello, Max, how are you?
Good, thanks. Since you're my advisor, I'd like to meet with you.
Sure. What would you like to discuss?
I'd like to discuss my major and a scholarship.
Great, great. You're thinking ahead.
Well,
Sorry, I'm pausing here to show you the questions, okay? So here, the first question here is, since you're my advisor, I'd like to meet with you. So this is how Max asks his professor to have a meeting, okay? And here, I'm showing the answer to the previous exercise on the other page, where Max says that he would like to discuss his major and a scholarship. Scholarship is the same as bolsa in Portuguese, okay? Bolsa escolar, right? So, no, the question is this, not the answer. Here, I'm just discussing, okay? So,
oh yeah, I am. Is it possible to make an appointment for tomorrow after class?
here he says, look, is it possible to make an appointment for tomorrow after class? So here it's part of the first question, okay? He asks, is it possible? Tarará, tarará, ok? So, essa vocês podem incluir na primeira também ainda, ok? Because it's Max talking to the professor, okay?
Sure. I have office hours from 2 p.m. until 5.
Thanks, Professor Armstrong.
My pleasure, Max. I'll see you tomorrow after class. Bye.
Okay, bye. Hey, Max. Hi, Andy. Could I ask you a favor? Are you at home? Yeah, I'm watching a movie.
All right, now this is Max talking to Andy. Look at the question. Could I ask you for a favor? Okay. That's the question number 2. And then he continues, could you bring, I forgot my art history book. Okay, this is the same question. Actually, he explains the problem and then he asks, okay, so I forgot my art history book. Could you bring it to me at the main building in 10 minutes? Whoa. Okay, so this is the second part of the request. Okay.
Oh, I forgot my art history book. Could you bring it to me at the main building in 10 minutes? I just don't have time to go home before class.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I don't want to be any trouble.
No worries. That's what friends are for.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
All right, people, let's check the answers, okay? Here we are. If you want, you can take a picture. Okay, look, the first one. I'd like to meet with you, remember? I'd like to discuss my major and a scholarship. And then he goes, is it possible to, okay, make an appointment? Now, number 2, could I ask you for a favor? Okay. Could you bring it to me at the main building in 10 minutes? I don't want to be in trouble. So now, number 3, we are discussing Max's tone and the way he asks the professor and Andy. So Max sounds worried. Ele parece preocupado. Okay, o Max. He doesn't want to make problems for Andy. His tone and language show that he feels a little bad about asking Andy for his favor. Max is not worried about that with his professor because he is not asking for anything very big. It's the professor's job to meet and help students. Also, Professor Armstrong is Max's advisor. Okay? So he doesn't feel bad when he asks Professor Armstrong for a meeting, but he feels a little, worried when he talks to Andy. Okay? All right, people. Okie dokie. Can we close? Yeah. All right. The idea of this lesson is to give you vocabulary on how to make requests depending on the situation. If it's something simple, you can use certain phrases, but if it's something complicated or maybe even inconvenient, then you should elaborate more, okay? Here we have some exercises just to evaluate if the request is difficult or easy, but that you can do at home. You just have to read each situation and number from 1 to 5, being 1, comfortable request, and 5, a difficult request. So it's just for you to evaluate, okay? Is it comfortable? Okay. Is it difficult? Then you put number 5. All right? So we're done with this. Yes, we managed to do the video lesson and the lesson before, okay, here. So what have we learned today? Today we started with vocabulary related to jobs, okay, or job vocabulary. How to talk about your past experience and so on. After that, we saw some job ads, okay? All right, people. And then we saw examples of job ads and their responsibilities, right? What you need to do in each one of them. After that, we saw linkers, linkers for addition. And we saw the punctuation we use, okay? So as well as an and are similar, but the punctuation is different. Also, and in addition, also similar. And if we start the sentence with them, we have to use a comma, all right? We practiced a little bit. We saw about the responsibilities of those jobs that Brian responded to. We also saw, guys, subject and object questions in the simple present. We saw the difference, that's okay, between a subject question and an object question. It's simple. The only difference is that in subject questions, we don't use auxiliaries, right? Do or does. In object questions, yes, we do. We have to use the auxiliary, okay? Then after that, we saw some requests, okay? And in this lesson, we learned about comfortable requests and difficult requests. And we saw how we can communicate, how we can express ourselves better and in a polite way. So we saw here requesting by phone, and we saw the differences, okay? When our request is not convenient, we should use special phrases, okay? Like, is it possible for you? Would you mind? Or, I was wondering if, okay, guys? And that was the end of our lesson today. Next class, we will finish Unit 3. And then we will have our review for our first test, okay? The topic next class is interesting because it's about responsibilities as well. And this time it's about stay-at-home dads, those parents who stay at home, usually father, right? So when the father stays home and the mother works, how it happens or how they go about it. We will watch a video about it and then we will discuss. And then we will talk about habits and routines, okay? This is very interesting. All right, people, moving back to our page on Google Classroom, the homework for this lesson today is online practice, units 3.3 and 3.4, and some worksheets, I guess some exercises. That video about the pilot, I posted here for you if you want to watch again. Okay, guys? There are some interesting files here about what we discussed, how to make requests, adding linkers or linking words, adding. And here we have the subject and object questions. Okay, people? Great. So let's stop presenting and take a beautiful picture. Awesome. So thank you guys for coming today. It was a pleasure. And don't forget, people, check out the spelling bee competition, okay? Make sure you sign up, all right, if possible, okay? Take a look there. And if you need to replace any classes, please do so with the coordination, okay? Now you have to send a message to request a replacement, okay? So thank you so much, Felipe, Claudinha, Stephanie, Duda, Samuel, Larissa, and Julie. Thank you very much. Julie, please sign the paper. Bye, Stephanie. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Felipe, for your participation. It was awesome. Thank you, Duda. Take care. So I hope to see you again on Wednesday, okay? Have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye-bye. Do you have a blue pen?
Yes.
All right.